Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 9-month around the world adventure. And today we're in Kotor Montenegro, where we are going to go down one of the most beautiful fjords, in fact, one of the only fjords in Southern Europe, as well as we take on the Kraken, an amazing wine bar unique to almost anywhere else in the world.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we're living that full life aboard Royal Caribbean's 9-month ultimate round the world cruise on Serenade of the Seas.
Well, we are, and friends, today we are in Kotor Montenegro, and this is gorgeous. It is a fjord city down here. It's at the southern tip of the Dalmatian coast, and it is absolutely stunning. We had a most beautiful sail in.
Right. It is. It's really quite amazing. In fact, our captain said this is one of the only fjords outside of the Scandinavian areas here in Southern Europe. So it's very unique.
Gorgeous.
Normally you'd see things like this in Norway, but we're getting a great glimpse and a preview of what we are going to see in Norway in a couple months. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. The sailing was beautiful, and it just really enjoyed it a lot. You cannot miss this if you're coming in via cruise ship, to stand out on the deck and be sure you see this.
So there is a limited docking here at the port, and there was another cruise ship there. So we ended up having to tender in, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, had no troubles tendering in. Went right up, and the tenders dropped us off right downtown. So we had two different things kind of planned today. We have a big event on the floating wine bar that we mentioned later. We're going to tell you about that. But we had time in the morning, so we decided to pull out the GPS My City again and just see what's available here.
Right, and that is such a handy way to see the highlights of the city. They have different walks that you can choose, and I think we just chose a highlights walk. It took us to several different churches and the town square.
Yeah, it did. So as we walked around, we went to the St. Luke's Church and walked around through there. We then saw the Tryphon, St. Tryphon Cathedral, and we saw St. Anne's Church. So lots of churches within the town to go see. And then a little bit like yesterday in Dubrovnik, we got to walk some of the wall. Of course, this wall is nothing like the one in Dubrovnik.
You can't walk around the entire city here. You can only walk around a portion of it, and it's not as majestic as the Dubrovnik wall.
No, it's not. But it was nice getting up there and walking around. Not near as tiring, certainly.
That's true.
Yeah. So we, as we walked around, then we had some time before our trip out to this floating wine bar. So we actually just sat and had a coffee and enjoyed a little snack and just spent some time with friends. It's a nice way to always spend time in one of these European cities. We enjoyed that a lot. But then we did have to go out, meet our friends, and take a taxi to the Kraken Wine Cellar.
Right. So the taxi takes you about 25 minutes out of town. It's going to drop you off right at the side of the road, and there's a little
weird.
sign. Yeah, there is a little sign there that says it's the Kraken Wine Bar, and you follow a tiny stone path or staircase down to the water's edge, and a boat will pick you up. The boat only holds, I believe, 4 people.
It's a rowboat, so kind of a little
It's a
motorboat.
small motorboat, and so it's going to motor you out to the wine bar. And so it took a couple trips for us to get all the way out there and back. But then once you get to the wine bar, you have to make reservations for this, by the way. It is very limited
And we will
seating.
put a link in the description for
Yes.
that. Yeah. So the thing that makes this so unique and so interesting, there's only a couple places in the world that do this. So the guys that started this here in Montenegro, during COVID, they were sitting around.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
They started it as a joke.
Yeah, they saw an article about a place in Japan that was aging wine in cold water to try to change the characteristics and to actually allow it to age faster. And so they thought, oh, well, let's try it. So they actually went out, bought some bulk wine from a local winery, bottled it up. When they bottle it, they actually individually bottle it, and then they seal it in wax, and then they sunk it to the bottom of the bay here in Kotor, and then just left it. And they thought, it's a joke. I think they did 500 gallons of wine or something the first time.
50 feet deep?
So it's absolute constant temperature down there, very cold. And they left it down there for 9 months or something, pulled it back up, and they went, wow, this wine is really good. And
And it
so,
was.
yeah, and so they decided to go ahead and make a business out of this. And they are aging their wine here at the bottom of the bay here in Kotor, and it's quite amazing. It's a great, it's all, one of only a couple places in the world doing this, so it's very unique, especially if you like wine. You know, this is a unique style, a unique type of wine. It's Montenegrin wine, and yeah, we went out and ordered. I think we ordered their rosé, we ordered a red, and we ordered one of their whites to try it, and it was really good.
So they pull it up from a rope, and it's in a basket, and they just bring the basket up, take a bottle of wine out, and then drop the basket back down.
Yeah, that's right. Save the bottles, and then they reuse the bottles for the next, because they have the wine in bulk, larger containers down aging, and then they have the bottles that they bottle it all up in. But yeah,
And they said they scuba dive down there about once a week to check everything, make sure everything's is okay.
yeah,
But anyway, on the wine bar, they have a small kitchen, so they're able to make a few things. We had some bruschetta, but then we also had some shrimp and mussels, and the mussels they were in a basket that they pulled up from the bottom, and they just scooped a big bowl out and dropped it in the boiling water.
yeah, it's about as fresh as you can get it.
was.
And now a little bit of a pro tip here: if you do make those reservations, and you have to order your food ahead of time, so they have it here at the floating wine bar, because again, this is a very, you can see in the pictures we're showing you, it's a very small operation here, and they need to know what they're going to cook for each group that
Right.
comes out. So we had ordered in advance the mussels and the shrimp and everything, so they had it out there. No, I had a great time. The food was actually excellent. It really was. The wine was very good. Had a great time out there, and it's something very unique.
It is. Wear your swimsuit.
Yes.
You can go swimming while you're drinking
A
wine.
little cold, but yeah, yeah, you can jump in and go swimming, and yeah, it's I certainly, I loved it. I thought this was one of those really unique
Very fun.
experiences that we've had on the world cruise that is unlike anywhere else in
Yeah.
the world. Yeah. Well, after we finished up our wine, we finished our dinner, we sat and just talked and had a good time. We got back in the little motorboat and motored back over. They dropped us off.
They called ahead for the taxi,
Yes.
so that because you're outside of town, and so the taxi was there waiting for us.
Right. In fact, we just hung out on the wine bar until they told us. They said, "Okay, your taxi's almost here," and then we went back up. So got in the taxi, took it back into town, and then we got back on the ship, and that was our day in. Or we actually got back on the tender, took the tender back to the ship, and then that was the end of our day here. Now, that's not the end of the sailing though here, because we sailed out this beautiful fjord as we went, and here we saw Our Lady of the Rocks.
That's a unique story here. So this is an artificial island, and the story goes that as fishermen would go by, they would throw a rock in the specific location, and it just built up over time, and then pretty soon it came up above the water, and they built a church on it.
That's right. So there's a shrine to the Virgin Mary, to Our Lady of the Rocks, and it's a tradition that when the ships go by this, they blow the horn 3 times, and you can actually see that here. Well, that was really interesting, going by Our Lady of the Rocks and seeing that. It was, yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. And again, the sail out was just as beautiful as the sail in. And yeah, I thought, well, I had a great day. What about you?
I had a wonderful day. So we're on days 199 and 200. Day 200 here is a sea day. And so for day 200, they made us a huge cake here to celebrate. We also had a meeting to talk about our trip that we're going to be taking to the Colosseum, one of the world wonders that Royal is giving us. So we needed to find out information about that. And we also did a live stream, which was a lot of fun. And friends, if you by chance missed it, we're going to link to it, and you can go back and see. We answered your questions on the live stream.
Yeah, about living on a cruise ship for 200 days.
And that was
can
a
you
lot of
believe it?
fun.
200 days we've been on this ship.
Did you ever? No, I never thought we would do this.
No, no,
it's pretty incredible.
And it's amazing how quickly it's gone too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go back and take a look at that. We reminisce a little bit. We talk about the 200 days on a ship. So go back and take a look at that one.
And it's been a real blessing.
It has.
I mean, it's just, yeah. I feel so grateful that we've been able to do this for 200 days.
Yeah, and also to everyone here following along for these last 200 days, the comments you give us are just overwhelmingly positive and enthusiastic. And we want to thank everyone that's been following along with us here for 200 days.
We really do, friends.
Yeah,
we
thanks a lot.
truly do appreciate you. We even say off camera just how nice all of you are, and it's been very fortunate. We've been able to meet a number of you have come on the cruise ship for different segments, and so it's been just a delight to meet each and every one of you.
Yeah, so we still have 74 more days of this adventure to go, so it's not near over yet. But
it's getting shorter.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow we're actually in Malta, and so we're going to go out to the amazing island of Gozo, and we're going to see some ruins, actually some ruins that are older, bigger, and more impressive than Stonehenge. And it's quite a great trip, and that's a city that I think you're going to find quite fascinating. So.
All right, friends. Well, thank you again. Please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we will see you very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.